Now the B Houdini file is basically the same as the A Houdini file, except I did something that's called, I used the Houdini renderer called Ren, W-R-E-N, which is a wireframe renderer, wire Ren, W-R-E-N, Ren. And let me go to that player. And so this does the line. You can set a lot of cool things with this. You could set a line width. I have the line width set very thin. And it depends on the smoothing of your object, how your object is smooth in order to create those sublines. And so if there's a lot of smoothing going on, you don't get an awful lot of detail. And this can be useful for, like, if you're creating some technical drawings, or you're just making notes and you want to get a rendered image of your notes for your notebook, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on your ink, which the ink can be really expensive. And so if you just want to cut your costs, and also sometimes the grayscale, um, black and white print, grayscale doesn't have as much detail. So anyway, this uses the Ren render, and it's not really interactive. And then the outputs part of Houdini, it's just called Ren, and it does a wireframe. And there's certain settings you can set your sampling. Um, the default is white over a normal fill, which is black, and I picked black over another fill, and it's not really an interactive render where I think when I was working on this, you had to render it to disk and then open it up from disk. So not a lot of options on it, but it doesn't do a whole lot, but it creates a decent line render. Now this was before cartoon shaders came out. And so a cartoon shader might give more fluctuation. This gives a pretty static width line. And anyway, so I just wanted to show you this render, good for illustrative purposes.